And we're back for some side-scrolling platforming. This is a mascot platformer, as many as you can imagine on the Mega Drive. This is Cool Spot, and this is actually not a bad one in terms of mascot platformers. I imagine we're going to play a lot of these if we're going to go into the 90s catalogue of licensed video game properties. I just came in here because I like the fact that the main tune is Wipeout. That real Mega Drive-y sort of sound. So this is the Mega Drive version. I think it originally came out Mega Drive and SNES, and then got ported to all sorts of platforms. But I figured we'd go for the Mega Drive version just because, you know, that was the version I played. Yeah, so it's fairly simple. Collect those red dots, release those red dudes, and don't get hit by stuff. So, Cool Spot's a bit weird because technically, the less licensed property is 7-Up the drink, or the brand. But over here, if I remember rightly, I think, just got a point for that. The 7-Up stuff got stripped out because the Spot wasn't a UK brand for 7-Up. It's a bit of a weird one. So, you know, I don't think we necessarily knew that was the case until later on. So it's fairly standard. Lets you run from side to side. You've got a shoot button, you've got a jump button, and you want to collect the red dots, and that's about it. Already I can tell you that the controls are a little bit loose, by the way I describe them. But it's not without personality or charm. Uh-oh. Is that my low health music? Let's just start playing new music because... Have I missed something? What's going on? Come on. There we go. God. You can see that health meter up in the top left, as well as a gold percentage, which tells you how many of the dots that you've rescued on a certain level. Oh, Jesus. See, I feel like this game wants you to go really slowly, but it doesn't. When you jump, you're so high on the screen, you actually can't see what's below you. It's a bit unfortunate, really. Must be a way to get that. There we go. Oh, bollocks. Try that again. So again, unless you accidentally stumbled across this, you might not know this stuff is here. How do you do that? Is that it? Come back to the start of the level. That's a good, another sort of 14%. Oh, okay, just at some point in the level, the music changes. Got ya. So this was developed by Virgin Games, which, looking it up, was I believe a David Perry game who went on to make Earthworm Jim, another 2D platformer with a mascot character. I think more successful than this, really, because Earthworm Jim really spawned a whole raft of stuff. How do we go up here? Can we? Do a little bit of jumping. There's enemies everywhere, Jesus. This is surprisingly taxing for the first level of a mascot platformer for the Mega Drive. That's my platforming skills have just gotten really atrocious. It's weird, the kind of, I mean 7-Up's not really fast food, but the nature of branded games around this era is really strange. I mean, I think probably the highlight of the bunch is Mick and Mac Global Gladiators, if I could say it, which is, last time I played it was a well-made game, but then again it has been at least 15 years, if not more. So, okay, so that's the checkpoint. That's a time bonus. I like that the little crustaceans have got boxer shorts on for whatever reason. That's what I kind of like about this game, is it's got, even if the platforming is not to my taste, and I think there's a certain challenge to it which I wasn't expecting, but there is a charm to Cool Spot. He's not the world's most interesting character, but I can go there. I'm gonna end up stranded out in some random part of the level again, aren't I? I can go back. So I think my goal is to find a cage of some sorts. There we go. Great. Try that again. Those bloody crabs. Oh. The platforming feels a little bit imprecise as well, which is not helping. I'm not just using that as an excuse for why I missed that balloon. It's not... collision detection is not necessarily brilliant. Oh, the music's making up for it. That thing's... bonus level. What? What? What just happened? I didn't run out of time. I had plenty. Oh god, now there's two of them. I don't know, genuinely got no idea why I just died then. Yeah, one up. And let's see what the bonus level's like. Eventually. Oh, it's like Sonic for the Master System. Oh, it's got some pretty funky music. Oh, they do recreate. Oh, I'm sucking. Virgin Interactive are an interesting game publisher, because I don't really know. They were around for a long time, but they, other than kind of the Capcom stuff they published. So I know for a little while they were publishing Capcom's kind of early sort of PlayStation 1 stuff. I know they were responsible for bringing over Resident Evil 1. Their logo was certainly on that. I don't know whether they were on like Marvel Superheroes and stuff like that. That's probably Virgin Interactive. But yeah, their output is kind of a bit strange. Always seemed like one of those companies that had a ton of stuff, but not much that I necessarily played, I think. And then they kind of just disappeared very quietly. I couldn't have helped that Capcom started putting out their own games over here. Am I missing the objective here? Got 24 seconds left. I shouldn't have got that timer, really. That was a danger. Yeah, got the V-coin. Sure could go a 7-up right now. Or perhaps a Sprite. Whatever will annoy the advertisers more. Alright. I'm glad it's. Oh, I was gonna say I was glad it's gonna give me another couple of levels, couple of lives, because I could use them. First level wiped me out entirely. Don't shoot up. The levels are quite heavily themed. I mean, the sequel would go even further in that direction, but we'll get to that. Oh. Good God, how many enemies do you need on a screen? It's only the second level. The last level of this game is going to be nothing but sprites. I don't remember this game being this taxing. Not immediately, at least. Have I really gotten that crap at these games? It's gotten soft in my old age. Yeah, I'm responsible for both of those, so... Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I doing? I can destroy him. Arrows tell me to go down. Oh, come on, get the thing. Arrows tell me to go right. Ah. Get through that wall. I think the problem with the health icon in the top left is that it's a little bit out of sight. Also, it's really unclear as to... I mean, you've got a rough idea of how I'm doing, bad or good, but it doesn't really give you a precise how many hits can I expect to survive. Is what I'd probably want. A simple, health gauge would do that. Where the style of this game perhaps hurts it rather than helps it. What are those things? Are they wasps? Flies? Oh, God. Oh, good, more time. That's what I need. Second checkpoint. Hey, this game is supposed to be hard. Get! There's no double jump. There's no... It's just a jump and shoot kind of affair. It's actually kind of a 2-button game, even though I'm playing on a 3-button Mega Drive configuration. I imagine the SNES version is much the same, with kind of, 4-button controller, 6-button controller, because you've got the shoulder buttons. Oh! Yeah, these jumps are... not good. I like the fact that you can shoot through environment though, it's quite nice. Quite handy. Yeah, I'm done. Is that me done? What's the continues like in this game? Okay, so me getting that earlier granted me what, 1 life? Oh, 3 lives. Reasonable. Is it going to start me right at the start? Of course it is. Checkpoints, I think you love them. Aiming the little glass things, whatever those are, they're not easy to aim, as you'd expect from a game of this kind of age. Certainly not Contra, that's for sure. Alright, wasn't expecting that. Also, platformers with holes like that. It's really deceiving, if anything. Wait, can you go up here? No, you can't. That's the pit. So let me just go up, so... Should probably go up. That's stupid wormies. I don't know why that's... Oh, okay, you can go through here. Let's complain about the level design then. And then it was perfectly explained to me why that was there. Stupid wasps. God damn. Again, a bit more screen space would really do this game wonders. Well, I don't really know. Pause. Doesn't even have a screen, just dims the screen. Nice. I don't really know what there is to show of Cool Spot, so let's go in unprecedented fashion. Take a look at 2 games in one go. Let's have a look at the sequel, which was Spot Goes to Hollywood. So here's the sequel. This is Spot Goes to Hollywood. We're playing the Sega Saturn version. It just so happens to be the version I've got. Again, so this is a game that I owned at the time, or I say at the time, probably about 2 or 3 years after it came out, on the Sega Saturn, funnily enough. And had a hell of a time with it. Not particularly in a good way. I'll explain what I've just discovered 5 minutes ago, which might have helped me enjoy the game a little bit more. So, instead of making a 2D side-scrolling Cool Spot game, again, they made a 3D isometric game, not dissimilar from something like Sonic 3D, but the controls were horrific. But they weren't horrific, it's just that the default controls that they set make no sense whatsoever. Well, we'll discover that in a minute. I'm wondering if this cutscene is going to go anywhere, because I must admit, most of the times I skipped it. Quite nicely rendered. Nothing against it. Again, I also had a chance to look up Virgin Interactive's roster, and they actually put out some pretty damn good games. So, ignore what I just said about Virgin Interactive. I've forgotten they'd done Command & Conquer, and they published a lot of Capcom's games. Like so Devil May Cry for the PS2 was published here in Europe by Virgin Interactive. So, all through the PS1 era. So the one thing I will say about these cutscenes is that they're actually, the animation's not bad. So, you know, 95, 96. The kind of hand-drawn animation stuff is better than the, you know, computer-generated stuff, but everything was computer-generated at that time and it all looked horrific. It's just, you know, didn't have the technology to actually pull it off. Well, we did, but, you know, not everyone had Pixar money at the time. Especially not for a Cool Spot video game. So the hilarious thing about this game is that on the box, if I go and reach for it, it claims 20 minutes of integrated cinematics and CD quality sound, which you'd hope so, considering this game came on a CD. So, here we go. Right. First things first, let's have a look at the options. Because there's 2 things I noticed. See if it's remembered what I said. No, okay. So, by default, pressing up on the D-pad will point you upwards and right. And me trying to get my head around that, I just could not understand what that meant. What I've just figured out is it's an arcade mode, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. So we'll stick with that. Backup memory. Save it. Why not? See if the backup battery in that Sega Saturn still works. And it makes a nice noise when you do it. The other option, if you don't want to save it, is to use the 25-digit password system. No tar. So the idea behind this game is that you are essentially going from movie to movie and kind of swashbuckling your way, or swashbuckling. I literally only said that because I just saw it on the screen 5 seconds ago. The first level's a pirate theme, but it kind of goes through various themes. I can't tell you how much effort I had to go through to get this running. The amount of SCART leads and HDMI cables, and I'm playing with a Model 1 Sega Saturn controller, which anybody who's played with one of those will tell you is not very good.
Pirates beware, for no one returns who has ventured in there.
I don't know where my Model 2 controller went. Not a big fan of Cool Spot's voice. I'm going to say that. Having not seen any of the adverts or any of the kind of advertising, he's still got bad attitude, as you can tell by the loading screen. It slowly loads off the disc. Hit the Sega Saturn thrashing behind me. Here we go. So this makes a lot more sense to me, is that up, down, left, right controls. It was driving me nuts trying to play it with the isometric controls. It's a similar thing. So you're jumping, you're firing, you're collecting these little spots. Sometimes there's big spots. Let's go in here. Secret room. All the spots that you can muster. And secret bonus star. Can I shoot that glowing thing? No. A bit optimistic. The nice thing is you've got a run button, which for some reason is on the Z button. Don't really know why it's there, but hey. Actually, you can run on the right bumper as well, which is interesting. Or the R button, whatever they called it on the Sega Saturn. Second star. So I actually, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of isometric games. I think Sonic 3D is made largely unplayable by its horrific controls and camera angle. Now that I know that you can change the controls to be arcade in this game, it doesn't feel quite as bad, but I think these isometric games didn't last very long for a reason, in that by the time you could do 3D, it was just a lot easier to do 3D. Even the kind of middling 3D was better than this stuff. You just end up in a situation where you're trying to jump like that. Where's that going to take me? Why is it taking me down here? So if you try and compare, the thing that I was trying to figure out is, you know, if this game was released in '96, where that kind of puts it in terms of graphics. And I think this still looks pretty good. This looks like a early PlayStation, Sega Saturn sort of era game. It's not going to compete against, you know, some of the later fare, but at the time it didn't look out of the ordinary. I think people found the controls a little bit fussy and it being a little bit difficult. See, it's got to be better than Cool Spot. I made it through the first level without dying. Like 4 times. The pirate level. This is weird. I'd always consider this game to be way too difficult and way too too intense and the controls were awful. I'm actually getting a weird fondness for this. At the time, I found it absolutely impenetrable. I think I probably didn't make it past the first couple of levels. I certainly didn't make it past the pirate stages. And I'm now sitting here thinking, oh, maybe I could just finish the rest of it today. The thing I find difficult with games like this, though, is that I think if I'd have played Cool Spot at the time, I probably would have enjoyed it. Because I played that late, and I played this late, and coming back to them now, Cool Spot has definitely aged more than this has. But these controls feel responsive now that I've changed the directions. It's maybe the most inexplicable thing I've ever seen, is just why they felt the controls needed to be isometric to default. Oh. Is that me dead? Okay, so I guess... So they've improved upon the life bar as well, because you can see I've got 3 hearts, or 2 hearts for the top left now. Just far better. The insane system they used before, where you had to judge by Cool Spot's daft face. So I'll sprint through some stuff. The fear of actually dying before I get to the good bits. Well, that's a block you can push. I'm guessing I could... Oh, stupid green guys. Oh. I probably should stop running everywhere as well. That would maybe help. Oh, nice. Little driving sequence. Man, why didn't they make more of these? I just... Okay, apart from that. These controls feel a little bit... this left and right stuff is not... doesn't feel quite as responsive as it could be. Alright. Making me play through the entire thing over and over again is maybe not my favourite thing in the world. So it's the problem with these kind of rail sections. Even in something like Uncharted, when they start getting you to do rail sequences, as soon as it stops and makes you do it over again, it's like, yeah, this was fun the first time. Maybe don't want to do it 4 more times later. No, can't make over that jump. Because the problem is, see, the controls are not responsive enough for me to get over into the corner without knowing I need to be over there to start with. This cannon moves quite slowly. I know it is a cannon, quite heavy, but... it's also a video game. Yeah. There we go. Go around that. It's super... I find it always super weird to go back to this era of game where they were making kind of... still 16, like the crossover between 16 and 16-bit kind of platformers and, you know, 3D games on the PlayStation 6 Saturn. And you've just got, I suppose Sega CD was similar. You have these games that look like they belong on the previous platform, but have this crisp CD quality soundtrack. really odd. Secret cannon level. Oh, that's missed a star. How many cannon shots are loaded in this cannon? It's a shot at least sort of 30 or 40. Oh crap. Oh, it worked. If in doubt, jump and pray. That was a long cannon sequence. Yeah, I need to stop destroying those stupid cannons. Or cannons, barrels. At least they made me do that section again. Right, I just learned my lesson. Don't shoot that. Unfair. Let's keep it over there. Yes, that's the thing I always struggle with in these games, is figuring out what perspective things are. It's like you keep, you know, that you hit. I'm hitting the. I think I'm hitting that, but it's clearly on top of those boxes. But there's sort of very subtle shadows. Maybe that's the colour correction on the TV is not helping. I feel like that's something that Sonic 3D did a little bit better about, of having shadows, but even then, if there's something high off the ground, the shadow doesn't usually show you how far up in the ground how far up from the ground it is, sorry. Oh, another pirate level. They don't make it easy to show different stages. It's also weird to play these sorts of games with load times. It's a nightmare. No! Run, cool spot! Or spot, whatever you want to call them. It's nicely animated, actually. It's kind of. I know this environment is just a ship over and over again, but the actual, you know, the enemies that you're fighting are quite nicely animated, quite different from these stupid barrels. I didn't run that direction.
Cut! Try this one again, from the top. This is not working. I don't think you're made for this business.
Good old cliche movie producer voice. Where are you going to make me start from? Because that'll determine whether I continue playing or not. Cool spot on his 90s phone. From the start screen. That spot goes to Hollywood. I had found a newfound respect for that, but unfortunately... Oh, man. I bet these are... Oh, they're 8-digit. That's not too bad then. But man, 25 characters, that's crazy. Especially on a machine that can save your progress. It's got a memory card slot ability. Yeah, I think that actually Spot Goes to Hollywood is probably, by today's standards, the more interesting game. I think Cool Spot's probably got a lot more nostalgia going for it. I don't know really how many people played Spot Goes to Hollywood, because by the time people had PlayStations, and considering I think this game came out later on PlayStation than it did on Sega Saturn, it's quite difficult to suggest whether or not, you know, people were really that interested in these sorts of games at that point, whether they'd moved on to stuff like Pandemonium, or, you know, I suppose in 1996 Mario 64 had come out, and Tomb Raider. So, yeah, it's an interesting relic of time, and if you really want to be technical, I suppose by the time they got to Spot Goes to Hollywood, the 7-Up branding had pretty much disappeared. So, yeah, that's both Cool Spot and Spot Goes to Hollywood. And that concludes our 7-Up section of this feature.